somebody knowing exactly where to find an important document, item, implement used in a crime. And it's crazy because this true crime oracle deck that I used has a lot of different kinds of cards, generally referring to an actual type of crime or person, but these are all about a location: wooded area, landfill, and road. So I think we have someone who's putting together the puzzle and realizing where they need to look, or getting some sort of a lead or a tip that enables them to go where they need to go. So let's call on spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members, and thank you to those that have checked out my candles on Etsy. They're adorable. Look at them. Hello, Redbeard. How are we doing today? Did you enjoy your weekend? All right, let's see what else we've got. This is the Hocus Pocus. What are we looking for here? I saw the book in my mind from this deck, which I think is the Hierophant card. We've got the Chariot in the reverse and the Six of Pumpkins or Six of Pentacles. This is like, you can get there, but a car will take you only so far. You do at a certain point have to get out of the car and like hike a little bit to get to this location. But this Six of Pumpkins or Six of Pentacles is making me feel like someone's able to locate that and also finds more than one thing. Ace of Candles or Ace of Wands and the Ten of Potions. This is something that clearly doesn't belong where it is. And I feel like it's something that, it's like it re-energizes an investigation. Magician in the reverse, Ten of Candles or Ten of Wands in the reverse, and the Two of Pumpkins in the reverse. So we have somebody who I think has tried to get rid of records, an item, a car, but they did something that wasn't enough work. Maybe they just struggled because they didn't know how to deal with the situation, one would hope, but I feel like it could also just be someone was rushing things. Like, I know I don't want to get caught, and I have to be like quick about whatever I'm doing. Justice. And the Seven of Pumpkins or Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. I think this is someone who made a mistake. They've been seen or they're on a camera. Someone notices while they're walking around their own property that there's something out of place. But I feel like justice is a reference to the investigation coming to look for something, or, you know, the tape going up around a little property. King of Cups or King of Potions and the Knight of Candles or Knight of Wands in the reverse. This looks to be a crime of passion. Eight of Swords or Eight of Lightning in the reverse. Knight of Potions or Knight of Cups in the reverse. I do feel like this is someone who's surprised at what they find. It could be a child who knows where something is. See how he's pointing? but it causes someone to get freaked out or anxious. You weren't supposed to be able to figure that one out. I thought that I had done a good job, you know, hiding something. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas. Hello, Lee. How you doing? The Moon. The 10 of Presents or 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Knight of Needles or Knight of Swords in the reverse. I have to move quickly. I have to do something to cover my tracks, because if I don't do that, then my secret is going to result in losing everything I've been working towards. People won't take me seriously, or people will you know, insist that I have some sort of consequence. Being canceled, losing a business, going to jail. Six of Swords and the Hermit in the reverse. So we have somebody who thought that they were in a more comfortable situation with this. Like, I was able to make someone else, you know, confused, or not be able to see that I was the problem. I was the person who did that, or, you know, I'm the one they're looking for. Eight of Needles or Eight of Swords in the reverse again. Oh, of course, Lee. Thank you for the tip on that secret. I got you. So the Eight of Swords in the reverse has come out twice. This is revealing a connection that someone thought they had, sorry for the word choice, but thought that they had buried. But now it's like, no, we know that you were dating that person, or no, we know that you were in business with that person. We know you were about to get a divorce with that person. Whatever they tried to get rid of, receipts of some sort, they can't get rid of it. Page of Presents, Knight of Presents in the reverse, the Star in the reverse. Why do I keep feeling like there's a kid who says, that's not supposed to be here? Maybe it's like a teenager. But I feel like everything happens because we have someone who notices something out of place in a wooded area, not far from a landfill, or being used to dump something, and tell someone, I know how to bring you right to it. This is something that may have gone unnoticed for a long time without this individual, without this younger person. We have the World. And the Six of Presents or Six of Pentacles in the reverse again. No, it was in the upright earlier. Yeah, I think there's someone whose secret life, or, you know, affair or embezzlement is exposed, and they were trying to get rid of something that would have tied them to this crime. Something that they felt they had already successfully gotten rid of is then discovered. Five of Candles or Five of Wands in the reverse, and the Page of Candles or Page of Wands in the reverse. They don't have anything to say to this. This is like, hey, why are you, you know, over there with your hand in the cookie jar when I told you not to have a cookie? It's obviously not a cookie. Hello, Lisa. How are you doing today? This is the Morgan Greer. Wheel of Fortune. Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. They didn't do something that they needed to. They let somebody see what was going on, or they didn't cover their tracks well enough. And now divine timing happens, and whatever they thought was not going to be a problem is coming back up, and they might be getting asked some uncomfortable questions. Hey Rachel, how you doing? Glad to hear it, Lisa. Temperance in the reverse, 6 of Swords, 7 of Wands. This is someone who believes the investigation is focusing in on someone who is traveling while they did this. If it was a crime of passion, it could have been they were out partying, kind of like the Hangover style. And someone's trying to figure out, did these two people really know each other? Did this really happen? If it's a business situation, it's a deal that someone tried to keep secret. I can make money off of this, or this is an opportunity for me. I can make this work. Ace of Cups in the reverse, King of Wands in the reverse. Rage. Rejection, or I feel like this is someone who, it's like they felt laughed at or not taken seriously, which is entirely possible in any of those situations. Could be they thought that they could keep this secret because it was kind of a new pursuit. No one would really know that I went on a date with you, or no one would really know that we were talking about you potentially buying my business, or vice versa. Something along the lines of, we were, thinking about this, or we were going to do that, but I felt like I could make it look like I'd never even encountered you, or I didn't have a reason to be there. Like, I can scrub that. I can make it look different. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? Doing well, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Rachel. I like to put more essential oil than most, I think. It's like the whole point, right? If it doesn't smell good, then yeah, it has light. 6 of Pentacles and Judgment. King of Cups in the reverse. This feels to me like someone is initially not even associated with this crime. And now, because of additional information or evidence being found, now we have somebody who's probably out of state or even in a different country. Probably out of state, if I think about it. Because it has to be pretty serious if it's from another country, right? This is like, hey, we would like to talk to you about what brought you to the area during this time. We have this receipt, or we know you stayed at this hotel. It's not looking good for them, though, because I do feel like it's multiple pieces of evidence. And there's some people here who are like real upset. This is not, I stole your, stole your fishing rod. It's still probably pretty offensive to some people. This is somebody who I think was violent. 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. 4 of Wands in the reverse, and the High Priest. This is someone, that would be the Hierophant, by the way. This is someone who, to other people, comes across as a person who has very strong morals, but they have a part of themselves that they do not have control over. Ace of Wands, Justice, and the Hanged Man. This feels to me like they took their anger out on someone who did not deserve it. And even though they felt like they would be able to avoid Lady Justice, we've got someone who's going to get caught, probably go to jail. Hello, Joaquin. How are you doing? Hello, Fadi. Hello, Chris. What's up? Yeah. The Emperor and the Judgment. We had Judgment come out right here too. Yeah. I feel like there's more than one crime that they get caught on, especially if they were crossing lines, state lines. I'm seeing the courtroom scene from Blow where Johnny Depp is trying to explain like state lines are just imaginary lines. And I think he says something like, and you know, it's just a flower anyways. Like he thought he was so smooth saying that's all it is, right? Oh, hello, Flower. How are you doing? Cheesy soulmate. Why cross paths with Thomas? As I received a text from my new vet. I received text from new vet. Who wants you? I would guess that's what you're trying to say. Will I ever hear from Thomas again? Why can't I just move on? Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but hopefully the cards will have some guidance for you on that. And I think there was one little last bit. I know he's a soulmate, but I got you. All right. Thank you, Flower. We're at like 17 and a half minutes, so not too much longer till we start the personal questions. Oh no, Chris, you're talking about steaks? That's not fair. I've been craving one. Might have to do that soon. All right, let's see what else we have for this person who committed a crime and thought they'd covered it up. 7 of Wands in the reverse. Somebody's left themselves vulnerable. 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. They're getting the karma that they thought they had avoided. They thought that they had set everything up the way they needed to, but it's turning out that they didn't. 10 of Pentacles. I do think that this is partly because of money. There's money involved somehow. Even if it's, you know, I paid for your dinner and you mouthed off to me, you know? How dare you insult my Crocs? They are classy. It's probably not actually what they said. I think we need the Kipper, actually. Hello, John. How are you doing? Hey, man, if you can time travel, might I recommend, like, I don't know, the 90s? Hello, Andre. How are you doing? Ooh. Yeah, this is not helping. It does sound amazing, though. What else? Message of concern. Hey, we found something and it doesn't seem to belong on our property. We need someone to come look at it. This is somebody who has not yet been caught, but is probably looking at jail time. There was some sort of romantic entanglement here. Even if there was also business, there was someone romantically involved with the person who is likely going to jail. We have bad health and concern. I think this is someone who was hurt. It could be a car accident. It could be, you know, things got physical in an altercation. But we have like two different folks being concerned here. Someone has found things on their property they don't think belong there, and someone is concerned for the health or safety of a person they care about. Marriage and despair. Yeah. I think this is family land. I think this is something that someone may have even gotten rid of on like family land. Like, this is my cousin or this is my grandparents. So I'm going to get rid of this here. Maybe even in-laws. But the thing is, people are able to track it. People are able to say, this is why this person felt like this property was something they had access to, or that they could get away with accessing, right? Okay. So what is the outcome, I wonder? Do we want that? We're going to go with... No, actually, I want the Gypsy Oracle. I think the card this one has that might apply would be, I think it says prison on it. And a dude kind of in a very similar posture as that one. Hey, Aubrey, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a good one. Misfortune and faithfulness. So this could imply that we had somebody who had assumed that if something was found, that it wouldn't be talked about because it's, you know, family or it's connected. But I think they were wrong. There could also be something here about a dog finding something instead of a child. Reunion. I think this is two people that saw each other again after an argument, or two people who saw each other twice in one night, but this individual was trying to make it seem like they just saw them the one time. But I do feel like there is an argument. Could have to do with family approval or money matters. Sorrow and doctor. There's records from a medical visit that may have happened after the argument, or if this was a car accident. There's something that this anger caused a problem for another person, and it could have even been like fatal, right? But I feel like there's also something that they had to kind of cover up as far as the impact to themselves. We have messenger. We had two message of concern type cards come through from Kipper. So this is like, hey, here's what we found, and I feel like it pertains to your investigation, or I feel like you need to, you know, figure out why it's here. And this is someone who's doing the investigation thinking, wow, this is exactly what I needed. This is going to help me figure out what actually happened. Lord and frivolity. Yeah, we had somebody probably partying or doing the horizontal mambo. And things got out of hand. An argument started. Someone maybe was jealous. Maybe there was a third party that ended up being involved here. But we have, I'm having a great time. I'm just, you know, doing whatever I want. And then things escalate. This seems to be something that they were confident they had covered up their tracks on, but it's like there's more than one thing that they forgot. They left a mess. Like, If you rent an Airbnb and they have like a fee if you leave it, you know, particularly messy, you might be pretty likely to like double or even triple check certain things, or, you know, wipe down surfaces that you wouldn't have cared about otherwise. This is someone who did not do all the extra stuff. They were just kind of like, yeah, looks good. Yes, it'll be fine. So this was a flirtatious connection that may have involved some sort of money, like I spent money on this, or I bought you that, or I took this from your bag. But we have a decision, a moment where someone could have decided to handle things in a more mature way, but instead they decided to lose their temper. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing? Justice, legal matters. I think this is somebody who's going to jail. Wheel of Fortune, turning point, divine timing, karma. So all of a sudden now, a case that was seeming pretty difficult to solve. Sorry, guys, I do feel like this is not the group of crows type of murder. Queen of Pentacles. It was difficult to figure out why this person was where they were, or why these things were where they were. But once the connections were kind of followed, it led right to the King of Wands or the Emperor. Remember, that does not need to be a man. This is somebody who felt like they could exert control over a situation that got out of hand. Six of Wands in the reverse and the Star. But the problem is someone knew exactly how to find this, or someone finds what, you know, they tried to get rid of, and that's all she wrote. Murder, she wrote. King of Pentacles in the reverse. So there's no explanation. There's no like alibi. There's no way to deflect. It's quite obvious. Maybe there's picture evidence. Maybe they've got, you know, you made a phone call at this person's address. But I do feel like they're pretty much trapped. With the discovery of this evidence, it kind of points directly to this person. And the fact that there had been some sort of romantic tryst or like a weekend of shenanigans. Say shenanigans one more time. Sorry. Name that movie. Hello, Sheila. How are you doing? Hello, Peter. Hey, Flower. We're just about to wrap up the general reading. I would guess maybe another 5 minutes for your question or questions. So this, hey, I know where something is, or hey, I found something that is a little bit out of place, ends up completely turning around this, I don't know how to solve this crime. Now we've got direction. Now we know what happened. Now we have a link to somebody. Eight of Cups in the reverse, Four of Cups in the reverse. This is somebody who was overconfident in their ability to avoid consequences, and now those consequences are knocking on their door. I do feel like there's going to be some lawyers getting involved. I do feel like there's going to be, some uncomfortable interviews, and I feel like the evidence points directly at this person. All right, let's see what we have for Lee. We'll switch over to the personal questions. Hello, Emery. How we doing? Yeah, I mean, if they're headed for punishment, I do. What do you just want me to pull? I don't think Lee will be mad at me if I pull a few Lenormand. Let's see if the whip comes out, which would be indicative of punishment. Otherwise, we might see the Tower, because the Tower can talk about like a structure or a hierarchy. And it could kind of look like a prison, you know? Hello, Kay Garrett, how are you doing? We have the Sun and the Ship. figuring out someone who traveled, asking them why they were in the area, or, you know, determining who rented this car. This enables someone to find out exactly who the guilty party is. Yep. The evidence is the key. They're able to solve this mystery. I had to. Oh, see? There's the book I saw at the beginning. They thought they could keep this secret. The fact that, you know, they hurt someone. They packed up all the evidence. Felt like they got it out of the way. Nobody was going to find it, but they were wrong. All right, I tried. No whip. I did technically pull it on the members shorts this morning. But the shorts are too short for me to do it, so. I'm glad to see you back. Hello, Third Eye. How are you doing? Hello, Rose. What's up? Yes, I do think that's what we have here. But we're switching to personals. I do think this is someone who's going to be caught. We'll put it that way. So what is it that Lee needs to know regarding the secret, please? What else does Lee need to know regarding the secret? Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Five of Wands and the Two of Wands. This feels to me like anger boiling over and causing an argument, and somebody coming up with a plan or feeling like they need to leave very quickly. What's the Hanged Cat? I feel like there's someone watching where they shouldn't be. Left a teddy bear cam, or I catfished you and now I have access to your social media. This is, I'm looking for information and I feel like I found a sneaky way to get that information. Maybe it's even just talking to somebody that you think is a friend who really isn't. We have the Three of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, this is someone who's digging for information and coming up with a sneaky way to get that information. Whether there's like a sneaky video camera or like an air tag. I'm wanting to figure out what's going on and I'm going to do it. Knight of Wands. I know it maybe isn't what I'm supposed to do, but that's how I'm going to handle it. So we have someone trying to figure out the truth because I think they feel like they're being lied to. It does kind of feel like we have somebody who's lying here. So the secret that's coming through is that somebody is like spying. Death in the reverse and the Nine of Cups. If I can't get it the regular way, if I can't, you know, just say, here's my question, then I'll still find a way to get what I want. All right, let's see what we have for Flower. Why did Flower cross paths with Thomas as a text came in from the new vet who is interested in Flower? Magician in the reverse, Knight of Cups. To mess with you and make it so that you feel like you can never get over him. Two of Wands in the reverse, to make you feel like there's nobody else that would take that spot in your heart. Is there spell work here? Two of Pentacles. I don't usually take cards in a sideways spot, but it seems like that's where we are. Huh. I do feel like there's some sort of love spell here. I don't think it's a very good one. This is like I was trying to do a love spell and I accidentally did a like spell. So you're just like, man, you're really cool. You're in the friend zone, but you're really cool. Someone like messed this up. But I do feel like the timing is specifically, how do I get you to feel like you can't get over me? Will Flower ever hear from Thomas again? This says no. At this point, there's a lot of healing that he would have to do for that to be the outcome. I do feel like there's a desire to talk to you, but a stubbornness. There's a lack of emotional accountability and a fear of the fact that you are so intelligent or observant. It's like, unless I actually like do the work, like all of it, then I feel like it's pretty clear you're just going to reject me. So it feels like that would just be a waste of my time. So there's a chance he'll figure it out. He'll do the healing. But I think at this point, it's looking like that's asking too much for him. Why can't Flower move on? 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. 6 of Pentacles, the Moon. Subconscious. Flower, I encourage you to find times to meditate, especially early morning or before you go to bed. In particular, if you can picture a white sphere around you that is a protective layer that blocks out this person's energy. Because I do feel like there could have been some attempt at a love spell here or some negativity sent your way. But you have the ability to, block him energetically. 3 of Cups in the reverse, 4 of Cups in the reverse. There's new, excitement coming in for you. So if you focus on the fact that there's new things kind of like associated with spring, new growth, right? New people, focus on that and that'll be a good kind of guiding light for you. But I feel like a lot of this mental fog is something that is being sent from Thomas or something that you could kind of oust or uninvite. Unsubscribe. High Priestess in the reverse. And the 9 of Wands. The 5 of Cups. Right now, it's showing that you are not protected from this person's anger. But when you take time to meditate and have a stronger energetic boundary between you and Thomas, then you're able to let go of this 5 of Cups energy. Until then, it just kind of lingers. Linger. Hello, Betty. How are you doing? Yeah, so you have the ability to push that energy away. The problem here could be that you push it away and then you draw it back in. But I do feel like this is someone who is possessive of you, even if there is this stubbornness or anger. You have the ability to manifest something new and let go of this. When you let go of it, you have that energy reclaimed and you can draw in something that is worthwhile. I feel like this is in particular something you can achieve by speaking into existence your intentions. Like, I release Thomas. Always good to say it a few times. Maybe 3, maybe 33. You've got the ability with your mind to do this. So don't fret. It'll be fine. I believe in you. Hello, Sargab. How you doing? What to expect from my work trip. Ooh, I'm going to make sure I have all of this. But you are up next as well, Saryab, so it won't take too long. Expect from work trip. Should I change job? At the end of the year or later? And my ex, what are their like true intentions? True plan, intentions. And still stalking. Why talk when you could stalk, right? Goodness. All right, let's tackle that for you. I'm glad to hear that. You're welcome, Flower. Love you too. Have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, so for Sarha, we have, what can I expect from the work trip? Oh, this is positive. The Sun, the Lovers, and the Empress. This feels like you distinguish yourself from the group, or you are seen as somebody that is like a role model or like leader of the pack kind of thing. Or there is recognition that you do things in a reliable or like smarter way. Why the Ace of Swords in the reverse? So I do feel like there is something here where people are talking about how great you did something, or, you know, the results or the reports are fabulous. And there's one naysayer over here, this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, a negative Nancy. But this is somebody who would say some sort of critique of you no matter how well you did. So it's like, don't worry. They don't like anybody or anything. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, Eight of Wands. I feel like you hear a lot of people saying something positive. You hear one person who's got a critique of you, but then things move quickly for you with somebody who saw this positive side of you. So don't focus on this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, the one who's like, that's not so great. Focus on how there are multiple people here who are seeing you as hireable or an asset to the team, or, you know, an expert in your field. Four of Swords in the reverse. This feels to me like you are, at least by someone, seen as more like innately skilled or talented. And that's going to make some people jealous. That's okay. Let them be jealous. Let them waste their energy. Don't engage if you don't have to. But there's going to be some good things that happen from the work trip. Should Sarkab change the job at the end of the year or later? End of the year. You know, really what it's saying is more so like after probably the holidays. Wherever you see hiring start to ramp up around the turn, like when 2027 begins, that's when you should. Which probably means do some research, do some applying towards the end of the year so that you can hit the ground running that following year. And what is the ex's true plan or intention? Nine of Swords in the reverse. King of Cups in the reverse. Two of Swords. I feel like your ex is still trying to choose between how they should approach this. They want to make things right, but there's also some failing here in terms of emotional maturity. I want it to work out, or I think, you know, we could be good for each other. I just don't really want to change my communication style, or I just don't want to change my schedule just to suit what you need, or I don't want to cut out that best friend who doesn't like you. There's something here where it's like, yeah, I like mostly good, but this is a problem and I don't think I'm going to do anything about it. So Hanged Man in the reverse, we do have some stubborn energy. If you're hoping this person has seen things from your perspective or is going to show you more respect in a situation, I feel like it would be a short-lived change. Yeah. This is someone who still has more things they need to be working on. Are they still stalking? No. I do feel like this is someone who feels like they got what they needed. So whatever the stalking was for, I think it was like trying to see who you were associating with and if it was what, you know, with someone that I thought it was, that kind of thing. Like, I want to confirm this. Hey, Scummy, how are you doing? Always wondered if that was a thing, Scummy. Or, you know, if two people in the live chat could, like, just fall in love and get married, that would be great. Yeah, this is somebody who may go back to stalking, but at this point, it's like, I found the information that I was looking for. Or I achieved what I was trying to achieve. So I think they're kind of like cooling off on that, which is probably good. Probably. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. And thank you for hyping if you're able to. And I will see you on the next reading. Toodles. Ooh, hi, Lemonade.